So yesterday I took my truck in for service. This would be the 5th service visit for the truck. And my complaint was the front noise come back in the front suspension. And I've reported this once before. When I took it in last time, they were able to recreate it. They were able to see what it did. They torqued down all the bolts in the front suspension and it went away. And I was like, okay, that's clearly a problem. Like, bolts don't just come loose, so there's an issue here. But for about a month, that issue was gone. No issues, no sound, no noise, no nothing. So I thought, it's all good. Well, about a month later, it came back. And I went ahead and scheduled an appointment. It was about a month out from that before I could actually get in. So drove it for over a month with the noise. Yesterday was that appointment. I took it in, and they're doing things a little different. When I went the first time, they let me drive the truck. They rode with me, and they could hear the noise. Yesterday, he wanted to drive the truck and me ride with him, but he would drive it like a baby. Like he would go over little bumps, Like, no, you got to hit the bump. You're not going to hear it. So of course he didn't hear it, and he claimed that the noise I was hearing was the tires losing traction, which is bull. And they didn't do anything at all. I'm in between. I don't really know if, because they did mention the whole buyback situation. I did speak to the manager, just like, not because I wanted to speak to the manager, but because they said, oh, the manager's going to speak to you about the buyback. I'm like, oh, okay. I did speak to the manager, and he said that typically it takes about 30 days from when they submit the request until they get a reply. And the 30-day mark will be right around the first week in September that this actually was submitted. So I should hear something back there first week of September, whether or not they plan to buy it back. I've decided at this point that if they try to give me any hassle at all, I'm just going to go get an attorney and do the lemon law, and that can be their problem, because now I know, because when you hire a lemon attorney, if we win, the company Tesla will pay for the attorney. So it's just going to be more expense to them to not just do it. So anyway, that was a complete wasted trip yesterday. Didn't get anything done. They did do the cant rail recall, but other than that, everything else is they did basically nothing. But what I was saying is, I don't know if the whole point yesterday was to dismiss the idea of a problem existing because they want to try and disprove my claim for a buyback, or if they think, well, it's probably going to get bought back anyway, so we don't really want to mess with it, just let him drive it for another month. I don't know. I don't know what the deal was. I felt like my entire complaint yesterday was dismissed in every way. Now, that's no different than the last 5 visits, honestly. The last visit, the 4th visit, was the only time they've ever actually addressed issues I've had and fixed it. Whereas the first 3 were just like, oh, it's not an issue, or unable to replicate. That's kind of how this has been going so far. So I don't know. I can't decide the point of why they wouldn't even look at it yesterday. I'm planning on opening a 6th service visit for the same issue. I also noticed grease splatter on the side of the truck, which I'm told can come from the front axles leaking grease. I don't know anything about that. Probably not a good thing if it's leaking grease. So probably something they should look into. So I'll go ahead and get them to check that, and I'll go ahead and report the front suspension clunk again, just so that it's, documented a 3rd time I'm still having this issue. So yeah, that's what happened yesterday at service, and Basically nothing. And I'm just so ready for this buyback. I'm just ready. I'm driving my Model Y today. I'm going to try to drive my Model Y until September. Just not put any more miles on the truck, because every mile that I put on it is about $1.30 off of my refund, and that's not worth it. And no anywhere ever is a mile worth $1.30. So yeah, I'm gonna try to leave the truck parked for the next month or rest of the month, whatever. I realize that this is probably going up in September, so I'm making this mid-August. Sorry. So I'm gonna try to not drive it for basically 2 more weeks, and see if we get an answer. If that answer is no, then I'm gonna go ahead and just go straight into find a lemon law attorney. Let's get the ball rolling. Because at this point, I'm over it. You know, I kind of think about backup plans, because it's like, I don't see me keeping this truck much longer anyway, even if I don't get the lemon buyback. And to sell it would be like 60 grand right now. Not worth it. That's a $75,000 loss of what I paid to sell it. So not happening. So anyway, that's that. I'll let you guys know as things change and statuses update. But right now, that's where we are.